All right, welcome back to Media Day. This is Mike Quinlan with the Bearcast. We're going to spend some time with head coach Butch Pedersen. Butch, this is always just a great day just to see the parents and the guys in their game uniform, but it's a start of what's going to be coming up. Every year there's something different that we aren't going to expect. Last year you made it through with one home game. How do you plan for this year?
Well, we certainly hope that doesn't happen again. It was probably one of the most unrealistic things I'd ever witnessed as a head coach. Playing one home game during the course of the season was ridiculous. But it is what it is, and it was what it was. So now we got to go forward, and that's why God put the nose on the front of your face, not on the back of your head. Let's go forward and let's see what happens. It's a great day for the cheerleaders to be here as well. They put a lot of time and effort into this. And Rhonda does a great job with them, and I'm just pleased that they're part of our family, our football family.
Well, and speaking of family, obviously the jerseys are going to reflect the numbers 71 and 54 down at the bottom of Oliphant Street. There's a gorgeous 71 and 54 by Bear Paw. Just comment a little bit about that.
Oh, it was a tragic situation with two former West Branch football players, and I think that our kids really felt a lot of, togetherness as they fought through that, and we hope that we can honor both those two gentlemen in a positive manner, and I think we've done that, and we want to continue to do that. With the numbers on their jersey, I think it's going to happen every single game.
All right, and now we look forward, as you always say, we got a game here coming down in a couple of weeks. The team, obviously, the most important thing is the chemistry that you build, and that's what your spring practice or your fall practice here is all about. How do you see this team's chemistry going?
I think it's outstanding. I think that they worked hard in the offseason, and Brian Rohrbach did a good job with them as far as the weightlifting is concerned, and they get along well. They're very young. We have, I think, 15 juniors and seniors on the entire team, and we have 30 fresh soft kids, so it's really a very young football team, but they're a young football team that's very coachable, and if you have that, you have the coachability, they'll improve, and I think that's what's going to happen. But West Branch better be really careful that they really support this team, because we're throwing some kids out there that haven't even shaved yet, Quinny.
Yeah, you're going to be young, and obviously, I just looking at the team, you can tell the difference that Brian has made with just the muscle and the strength, even of the smaller kids.
Yeah, the smaller ones, the freshman class needs to get bigger. They're still really pretty small. The upperclassmen, the 15 upperclassmen, I think have done a good job, and the majority of those are juniors as well that have grown. There's no doubt about it.
Well, and then we focus on the schedule that the state dealt you this year. They didn't do you any favors. A lot of ranked teams. One of the teams we're going to see for the first time is out of Waterloo. It's always interesting when we've never played a team before. But, yeah, we have a loaded schedule.
It's just ridiculous, quite frankly. I'm going to be real honest with you. We need to have a little better look at who we're putting in districts. They stacked this district, and there'll be teams at the end of the season who should be in the playoffs that are not, because they knocked each other out, and that's not the purpose of district football, and I'm not real happy about that, but it is what it is. You can't make excuses. We're going to have a tough schedule. We're going to get better. We're going to play one game at a time, and it starts with Lisbon, a great football team, probably one of the teams that are favored to win the state. We're a 1A team right now, and we're one kid away from being an A team. If one kid would have been gone, we'd have been an A team this year, but we're not. And the Waterloo Columbus is a great football team. They're going to be super football team. So those first two games are going to be extremely, extremely difficult, especially from the standpoint that we're young.
Well, and then you get into district play, and obviously Regina's been a playoff team. Mediapolis has been a playoff team, so it doesn't get any easier in your district.
No, it certainly doesn't. And the days of Durant and Wilton being poor football programs are over. They're not poor football programs. They're good football programs. We played a good second half last year against Durant to win that game. And I know Wilton, I've talked to Ryan a few times, and he said his team is going to be vastly improved as well. So we don't have any cupcakes.
Yeah. And obviously, what we always at West Branch hang our hat on is the defense to get us started out at the beginning of the year. The defense, The offense takes a little time to come around, but how do you see your defense shaping up?
They're running the ball extremely well, though. I think we have some good hitters. We've really stressed the fact that football is a violent sport. And if you're not a tough kid and you're not violent, you probably don't belong down here. And I just want to we call this group the chosen few, because these are the kids, in my opinion, who really care about their classmates in this school district. They're down here battling and fighting, but they're also going off for other sports as well, and I think that's vital. There's no room in a school West Branch's size to have kids just go out for one or two sports. We don't want to do that. We want to encourage everybody to be multi-sport.
Yeah, and this year, I mean, you have 7 seniors. I'm not sure if you've ever had in your 30-some years a senior class that is that small. But that's part of the issue of what you're talking about is kids not going out.
Yeah, we don't want to encourage kids to specialize. We can't do that, and that's going on some at West Branch. You cannot specialize. You need to go out for every sport that you possibly can and help your classmate in that particular sport, and then maybe they'll go out for your favorite sport and help in that regard too.
And as far as summer camp going, how has the heat been? How's the practices been?
A couple 3 days was pretty bad, to be honest with you, but it's gotten better. We moved the time slots back a little bit to help the kids out, but it's going to be fine. We might play that way on a game night. It might be 90-degree game time, so we better be ready that way.
All right, so we're with head football coach of the Bears, Butch Pedersen, getting ready for Lisbon coming up in a couple of weeks. So Bear fans, get ready, and please come out and support these kids because they've been out here working their butts off, and they could use your support. So go Bears.